You're gonna set a boundary with someone and they are going to probably immediately cross it. They're gonna wanna know your business. You're not gonna wanna tell them anymore, and that's gonna create a situation. I just told you I was uncomfortable sharing the information. Then you're gonna ask me, what is the information that I just told you I was uncomfortable sharing? That's why you wanna set those boundaries. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Video, you guys. My name is Indy. If you are new here, and if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for being a part of the Indy fam, and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing something a little bit differently than like my normal like makeup or just chit chat content. I'm going to be doing a video on how to set boundaries in the workplace. These tips can literally help with you work in like a restaurant, or if you work in like an office building. These are the tips that I use literally every day when I am working to help me set boundaries and to keep boundaries up in the workplace. So if you're interested in learning some tips on how to set boundaries in the workplace, then just continue to watch. I have some notes here, and so just for a general overview, what even is a boundary? So I think before you start establishing them, you should get a clear understanding of what even is a boundary. So New Oxford American Dictionary defines a boundary as a line that marks the limits of an area or a dividing line. So keyword, the limits of an area. So your boundaries in the workplace, they are going to be the line that you will not cross, or that you will not allow someone else to cross. That is your limit, whether it be a conversation, whether it be doing a task, whether it be whatever you define it as, that is gonna be your limit, your line that you or the other person will not cross in a specific situation. So I think it's really important to know, like, what exactly am I even like doing here when you're sitting there thinking about what is a boundary and how to start setting them in the workplace specifically. So let's jump into these tips. So I have 4 tips here, and the first one is know your why. When you are setting up boundaries, especially in the workplace, you really want to know why you're even setting this boundary in the first place. Your why in setting your boundary is going to pretty much be your anchor, and it is going to help you stand strong in the boundary that you are setting. So what is your why? Why are you setting this boundary? So for example, let's just say that if you were at your previous job, your first job or whatever, and let's say that you overshared. Let's say that you're, just an extrovert and you love to talk and you love to share your life and all that kind of stuff. And let's say that you got hurt. Let's say that somebody spread some information. Let's just say that somebody took that information and used it against you, whatever happened. So your next job, you promised yourself, you said, I'm gonna stop oversharing. I'm not gonna allow people in the workplace to have so much access to me and my personal information. So that is your why. All right, so you can start setting that boundary at your next job, or honestly, you can start setting that boundary at the job that you're at now. It's never a wrong time to set a boundary in the workplace or with someone. Know your why. Are you setting this boundary for peace within yourself? Are you setting this boundary for safety reasons? Are you setting this boundary because you're just changing how you operate in your life? You're setting this boundary because you want to be more private about yourself. Know your why. So to help with that, you can actually write out your boundaries, and next to it, you can write out your why. Say, for example, you say, okay, I'm not gonna tell anyone where I live, or I'm not gonna tell anyone my relationship status. Put right next to that your why. I'm not gonna tell anyone where I live because I did that at my last job and something happened. Or I told someone and I no longer felt safe. I gave away a piece of my peace or my safety when I told them that. So I no longer want to do that. I'm not going to tell anyone my relationship status because some mess happened at the last job, or somebody ended up cheating or something. Whatever your why is, write your why next to your boundary to help anchor you to that boundary and help you set it even better. So the second tip that I have is say affirmations around setting boundaries. I know so many people feel so many different types of ways about affirmations. I personally believe in them. I have tons of affirmations that I say. I have affirmations at my desk that I look over and I say throughout the day. I have affirmations around my YouTube channel, around my life. Like, I have affirmations that I am constantly saying to help center and ground myself. And so these are a few affirmations that I want to share with you guys around setting boundaries. So the first one is, I set boundaries easily. This definitely does not have to just go for your work. This can just go for your life in general if you just want to be better at setting boundaries with people. So just a simple one, I set boundaries easily. Say it randomly, say it when you're struggling with setting a boundary, say it when that person comes into your space that is always crossing boundaries. I set boundaries easily. I set boundaries easily. Say it like it's effortless. Say it like, I set boundaries easily. Nothing to it. Don't say it with like anxiety or like pressure. Say it easily and effortlessly, because that is how easily and effortlessly you set these boundaries. I set boundaries easily. Just like that. I don't have a problem with setting boundaries. I'm comfortable with setting boundaries. So make sure when you're saying your affirmations that you're saying them in the energy that you want to put forth. So you want to set boundaries easily? So say it easily. I set boundaries easily. The next affirmation is, I am comfortable being private about my life. You've made the decision to not share something personal about yourself. You want to make sure that you're feeling secure about that. So you want to say, I am comfortable being private. I am a private person. I don't let people in on my private business or my personal business easily. I am comfortable with keeping things to myself. You want to say things like that to just reassure yourself that you are comfortable with being a private person. People don't have a right to have access to you. Any access that you give or take away is totally within your right. Nobody is guaranteed access to you. You want to make sure to say that in an affirmation so that you believe it and that you portray it properly. So the third and final affirmation is, I am secure within myself. I think a lot of times when we are trying to create boundaries, there's like a little bit of insecurity there. And so you really want to make sure that you're telling yourself, hey, I am secure within myself. I am working through my insecurities. I am secure within myself. I am secure within myself. That means that you don't feel the need to look other places, let's say for outside validation. You don't feel the need to go to people and spread your business to get their opinion. You don't feel the need to like scramble for like friends or something like that. You really want to be secure within yourself. Being secure within yourself at work, working alone, being by yourself, going to lunch alone. One of my sister's favorite lines is, I lunch alone. And you have to be comfortable with that. I know a lot of people like to be with other people. They like to have friends. They like to be around a group of people, a big group of people. And sometimes that's just people's personality. And sometimes people are doing that to hide certain insecurities, or they're just feeling some type of way and they feel more comfortable in a large group of people. But if you're learning to set boundaries, you have to be okay with being by yourself, because a lot of people aren't gonna like those boundaries. If you are someone who's just kind of all over the place at work and you're spilling your private life, you're always telling people this or that, and you wanna start becoming more reserved, there are gonna be people around you that are not gonna like that. And you have to be okay with those people separating themselves from you, because they're gonna wanna know your business. You're not gonna wanna tell them anymore, and that's gonna create a situation. So you wanna be secure within yourself and being secure within your reasoning why you're setting these boundaries. So the third tip that I have is, speak your mind and be secure in whatever boundary you are setting. So when you start to set boundaries, especially at work, someone is going to ask you why. Someone is going to ask you, what's changed? What's different? What happened? Tell me. People are going to want to know why. You're going to set a boundary with someone and they are going to probably immediately cross it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to say, oh, I'm not comfortable sharing that information. Why? What happened? Like, what about it don't you want to share? It's going to be like, I just told you I was uncomfortable sharing the information. Then you're going to ask me, what is the information that I just told you I was uncomfortable sharing? That's why you want to set those boundaries, because people are just all over the place. And people, at that point, that person feels that they have a right to know whatever the information is. They have given themselves like that right over you and your information. And now it's time to take it back. It's your information. You can take it back whenever you want to. You have to be firm in that. Okay, the question that you just asked, I'm uncomfortable asking it, and that's going to be personal information that I'm not really willing to share right now. Boom. Just like that. If you want to continue to say the same thing, you know, that topic is just really personal and I'm not comfortable sharing that information right now. And say it just like that. Say it with a straight face. You have to be serious with people when you are setting boundaries. People will sit here and take you for a joke. They will take your boundaries for a joke. You have to be serious when you are setting boundaries with people, especially in the workplace. The workplace is notorious for just being a lawless place, honestly. Just information travels at the speed of light. People are just all over the place. This person's information travels here and there. the workplace is like the worst place for so many reasons, but the workplace is really the worst place that you want to not have any boundaries, because you're going to find yourself in a world of trouble, or you're going to find your business all in the street. So make sure that you are secure in whatever boundary you are setting, and speak your mind and stand on that. If you're uncomfortable sharing information, it is what it is. I'm uncomfortable sharing that. I'm not going to tell you that. And look at them just like that. If they keep wanting to ask, I'm not telling you that. I'm uncomfortable sharing the information with you. You don't need to know that. Just like that. The last and final tip that I have for you guys is to not be emotional. When you are setting boundaries, the worst thing you want to do is sit there and be overly emotional, because when you are emotional, when you get your emotions involved in a situation, that is a doorway. You are opening that door wide open for that person to not only cross that boundary, but to continue to cross the boundaries that you were probably going to set in the first place. You cannot be emotional, or you cannot allow your emotions to necessarily drive how you're handling the situation. We're all emotional, things happen, of course, but in those moments when you're trying to set a boundary in the workplace and set a boundary with someone, you cannot sit there and be emotional. You cannot be sitting there crying like, I don't want to tell you that information. You can't be sitting there crying at work when you're telling somebody, get out of my business. You have to be firm in that. Like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be secure in what you're doing and what you're saying. Even if you have to fake it till you make it. Internally, you want to cry so bad. Internally, you probably want to tell that person everything that happened. But if you have set the standard for yourself moving forward, that you no longer want to put yourself in those situations, because remember, in that moment, you might feel vulnerable and you might be like, man, I just need to talk to somebody about this. Like, I just need to get this off my chest. You need to remember why you're setting a boundary in the first place. Have you told that person some information and they went and told somebody else? Have you said this in the workplace and somehow, some way, it got out? Remember your why. Remember why you are setting that boundary, and that is going to help you moving forward. If you're emotional, cry in your car on your lunch break by yourself. Stop being so emotional at work. It's not that deep. Now, work sucks. These jobs suck, they really do. But when you are setting a boundary with someone at work, you have to be firm in what you're doing and what you're saying. You cannot sit there and be an emotional wreck when you're trying to tell somebody to get out your face and stop asking you something. So make sure, check your emotions at the door, wrap those things on up, and if you need to cry in the car on your lunch break, or you need to cry in the car after work, or cry in the car on your way there, you better get it together before you sit at that desk and talk to that person until that person got your business. You better get it together. So you guys, I really hope that this helped. I know that this video was probably all over the place, but these are really the tips that I keep in my back pocket when I am working and I just want to set a boundary with someone, or I am reinforcing a boundary with someone. Work is just not the place. You really want to be comfortable setting boundaries with people at work, because people cross the line at work all the time. You have to be firm in that. So I really hope this video helped you guys. Please let me know down below if you like it, if you like this style of video, like these little tips and stuff, and I would love to do some more. If you have any suggestions, please leave them down below, and I would also love to do those as well. Thank you guys so much for joining me for another video. I will see you in my next one. Everything that I have on my face, all of my makeup, is in the description bar. Who is proud of me? I sat down before I started filming and I typed out all of my makeup that I used, and I wanted to put it in the description bar. So I really want to get better at doing that, because I don't always film my makeup, because sometimes it just takes way too long, and then by the time I'm done filming my makeup, it's time to film videos and I'm out of energy. Like, I don't even feel like it. So I want to start really putting my makeup down below in the description bar. So all of my makeup is below. So let me know if you have any questions about anything that I am wearing on my face. And yeah, that's it, you guys. Thank you so much again for watching. I hope to see you in my next video. Don't forget to follow me on social media if you want to hang out with me outside of YouTube, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.